But God's truth has been under attack from the beginning by Satan. Now let's take a moment to look at what Satan's going to do with the truth. And we'll start in John 8:44. So go back to the right. You're in the book of Psalms. Go to the Gospels, the last Gospel, the Gospel by John. And I want to show you the antithesis of truth, the opposite of truth, the truth-snatcher himself. And this is Jesus describing to the religious leaders of his day the devil. And Jesus said that God's enemy and ours is the devil. He did not abide in the truth, neither can he, because he's a liar and the father of lies. And that's John 8:44. And this is what Jesus said. You, and he was talking to religious leaders, you are of your father the devil, and the desires of your father you want to do. Now think about that. When we act like unbelievers and revert to the old us and live according to the flesh, Jesus said we're living according to the desires of the devil. We shouldn't want that, right? We shouldn't want that. That's why I said in verse 32 of the same chapter that Jesus sets us free from that. We no longer have to obey the devil and what he wants us to do. But if we're lost, or if we're acting like a lost person, we want to do the desires of our father, the devil. And what was he? He's a murderer from the beginning. He does not stand in the truth because there's no truth in him. When he speaks a lie, he speaks from his own resources, for he is a liar and the father of it. Wow. The devil hates the truth. That's why the way that we overcome the darkness in this world is speaking the truth of God and giving out the word of truth and keep sharing with people the word of truth and live the word of truth. Do you remember the 7 sons of Sceva and when Paul was ministering, and these 7 Jewish sons of this Jewish kind of, I don't know what he was, a spiritual practitioner or something, but they weren't saved. They were going around casting out demons. And do you remember in the book of Acts that at one time they came across this man that had a lot of demons in him, and they said, "We adjure you, by the God of Paul, that you come out." And those demons looked out at these 7 sons of Sceva and said, "Jesus we know, Paul we know, who are you?" And they beat him up. Well, we have to be careful, because the demon world knows when we are not living the truth, when we are faking it, when we're dealing in secondhand stuff. We shouldn't let the Word of God just pass through us. We should let the Word of God come and dwell and change us. Don't just be a pipe, that you are always finding things to pass through to someone else. Let it come in and digest inside. And let it change us first. Don't try and live up to your preaching. Preach what you're living. It stops you from saying things. Makes you pause. It makes you say, "Lord, I don't want to traffic in secondhand stuff. I want to be those who are changed by the Word of God. And I want to be one who is of my Father in heaven. I've received His engrafted Word. I want to do and know and live His truth." Back up to Matthew 13, because I want to show you what the devil's doing. In fact, what he's doing right now. Some of you are experiencing Satan's work right now. Do you know what he's doing? He loves to come in and snatch the truth out of your mind. And he can do it a million ways. Have you ever been sitting really earnestly studying something about God, and you just had a thought? All of a sudden you were on the Nepali cliffs in Hawaii. And you were thinking about the warm air and everything. And all of a sudden you were kind of, for 5 minutes, totally missing what was going on. You see, Satan doesn't want us to connect with the truth. And look what it says in Matthew 13:19. "When anyone hears the word of the kingdom and does not understand it, then the wicked one comes and snatches away what was sown in his heart." And this is specifically toward when we share the gospel. And when we share the gospel, if it's not received and if the truth is not believed, it just is sitting on the surface of their life, and Satan comes along and snatches it away. And just as with unsaved people, when we give them the Word, we have to pray that the Lord will cause His Word to be engrafted into their lives, and that they will receive the engrafted word which is able to save their souls. So we have to be very careful that Satan, the truth-snatching, mind-blinding devil, does not influence us. We all face a dangerous, truth-obscuring, mind-blinding, truth-snatching devil who can influence us. Do you know how much he can do? Have you ever studied all that Satan can do? And his demons? It's awful to think about